Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me today. More folds, more envelopey tuck pocket things. Still working out a name for them. I'm sure there is a name because they've been done. I'm sure they've been done. This is my take on them. Again, I'm using up my 12 by 12 papers, my scraps of 12 by 12 papers. You can use A4 size ones, or letter size ones, single-sided, double-sided. I find they work the best with double-sided because I don't have to do anything to the other side. If they're single-sided, you could tea stain or coffee stain them. You could stamp a pattern across the plain side. If I have time, we'll have a play and see what we can come up with a single-sided one. What they are, I've got 3 here, different sizes. So this was done with a 12 by 12 sheet. We're going to do another one of these and make it, because I made it originally with the 12 by 12 sheet and it's a little bit too wide for the majority of the journals that I do. But I'm going to have another go at it today with another 12 by 12, but make my folds wider this way, which will hopefully shrink up the entire width that way. Does that make sense? I hope so. So we've got pocket down here, pocket at the back so that they can slide into pockets, and then I've got a pocket on the side. I've seen them done where they fold the other way, but I wanted the extra pocket. So that was with a 12 by 12 that I think was a 10 by 10 because they were literally scraps. So I'd find something that I had that had bits taken out of it and I could just make a square out of. So I've started with a square each time. So that's a 10 by 10. Again, we've got a pocket here, and then we've got a pocket on the side. So this one I've decorated to show you exactly. So we've got a pocket here. All right, we've got our pocket here, and then I've got my journaling card in this side pocket as a secret journaling. They're really easy to do. You should know me by now. Nice and easy, lots of folds, not much cutting, hopefully, not much gluing. So, hang on a moment, let me just, right. Too many journals I'm working on at the moment. This one's an altered book. Okay, so let's say that pocket went that way. They'd just sit in a pocket like so. Maybe without the lace. Okay, oh, there you go. That one actually fits in there. So technically for me, I'd have them sitting in a pocket that way, which was why when I did this one, I went, you're too big. It would attach in my journal that way so that I'd have my pocket here, my pocket, let's go that way, for this side, my pocket here, and then I'd lose that pocket, and what I'd have to do was glue down here, along here, and up here, so that when it actually attached to the page, where's there a page not done, it would just fit in and I could make it a top pocket. Okay, but most of my journals are around this size, a little bit smaller. This one's just an old Reader's Digest condensed book that I'm working on at the moment as an altered book. Got 2 of these on the go, got a normal journal on the go, too many. And there I was when I started, I was only ever going to do 1 journal at a time. But you know how your mind rolls and you go, ooh, but I could. So, you know, I've got too many journals on the go. Right, nice and easy, very quick. So we'll start with a small one. So this is just 8 1/4. This had big holes punched out of it up the top. So I trimmed a little bit off in width because then I could make it about the same width as letter or A4. So normal A4 that was an A4 sheet. It's had the top bit cut off. So that's what I would print my digitals on. So I've made it about the same size as that, so that you can, so just to show that you can get them out of your digital prints. Right, bit of scoring. You can use a scoreboard, you can just use your ruler and a bone folder. So with this one to start with, it is 8 1/4 inches. Why can I never undo these? Right, if I bring that down there, you should see that. So as I said, this is 8 1/4. So if I go 4 1/8, why am I hesitant on that? Is it an optical illusion? 4 1/8, 4 1/8. No, it's an optical illusion. All right, so I'll just score down there. This is my right side, as in the side that I want to see. This is the side that I want for the inside of my pockets. So I've scored originally, set it down, just straight down the centre, okay, which will be my top fold, like that. So now I want to make my folds that go in. As I said, you can use your scoreboard, you can use a bone scorer, or you could just fold it. If you don't have any of them, just fold it over, that's fine. Right, so that was my centre one. I'm going to turn it around so that that now runs left to right. And we're going to score down here. This is the same size. So with this one, I want to actually come across a little bit further. If you imagine that in threes, all right, 8 1/4, hard numbers to do. If you imagine it in threes, take a little bit less off the sides. I hope that makes sense. Let me put it this way. So if this was, let's just pretend this was a 9 inch, because we'll work nice and easy. If this was a 9 inch wide square, you're going to be 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. Your sides you want to fold over, you would have, of course, score it the 3 inches and the 6 inch mark. But that would mean that they would be exactly the same size as your front piece. So if you make them a little bit smaller for those side folds, you get this angle. Does that make more sense? Because then you can do it any size you want. So this one, as I said, was done off the 8 1/4 inch one, and I've done about 2 1/4. I want to make it a little bit further, so I'm going to actually go in 2 1/2 inches each time. You can change your measurements every time you do this to get a different measurement. So 2 1/2, which is down there. Right, and we want to go 2 1/2 on this way. So 1, 2 1/2, which will take us to 5 3/4 inches. Okay, that's it. There your folds. So I'll pop this one away. I'm just going to leave that out because I've got to get it back out for the 12 by 12 one. And they're too hard to undo. Right, so that of course will be our fold for that. So these ones, I want them to come in this way because I want to see the green. So let's have a look and see what we've got as our fold. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So see how I've got this much of a gap compared to this much of a gap. It's less I can put on this side, but you can change it every time. Okay, the only cut we've got is this score line just here that's running on our left to right. So our 2 fold lines are top to bottom. Our middle fold line is left to right, and it's our middle fold line that we want to cut. So just straight down that. We may need to trim them up a little bit further depending on how well they fold. So one on that side and one on that side. That's it. Okay, this one is going to come down, follow your fold. So where your crease line is, and score him down or push him down. I'll go back over with my bone folder later and do all of these. And that one. Same on the other side. And down. And it's these that could be a bit tight, so we might need to trim those with our scissors later on. But you don't see any of that, so you can recut and rehash those bits. So what we've got now is that. So if we fold that over, this one will go that way, this one will go that way, turn it over, this way and that way. There it is. Once again, how hard? I love lots of pocket folds and folding paper and playing with paper and all the rest. And these just make the wonderful, just as I said, I've got lots of little bits and pieces, and I tend to have, I have a container with ready-made ephemera bits and pockets or tags or whatever else all done. So I might have some done like so, ready to decorate for whatever journal I'm working in, because then I can turn it into the theme I'm going for the journal. I might have some already done where my mind's been running and I've run all the way through, but they're handy to have in a little container when you are working in your journal. So if I unfold that, they're all looking pretty good. You know, once you've unfolded it, whether you need to trim any more off that. So they're all good, but I just want to show you what I mean by recutting them. So this one would probably be the closest. What we're going to do is just take a sliver off, starting further down here and working up to our point. You don't see it, so it doesn't matter if you take a bit too much off. And that's it. That's all I've taken, so that when it sits down now, it's in there and it's slightly flatter. Make sense? So that one we might take a sliver off as well. Just like so. Pull him out. That one's out, that one's out. Beautiful. You can have them the same way, you can have them the opposite way. It's at this point you work out which way you want it. Really doesn't really make any difference, but you do need to work out this one, because you'll leave one of these. So, bang, crash, wallop, sorry. And I had ink all over my table and I didn't wipe it. My walnut stone was going again, so last night I was playing with ground espresso, but the little ones I have trouble with. I need the bigger ones. Excuse me. So I have just dumped a little bit of water in this one. So we'll go there. Now my daughter informs me she reckons she can show me how to fasten the video for when I'm inking. I will attempt it. If there is no quick speed when you're watching this, you know that I haven't been able to achieve it. So I'll just go really quickly with this now, just in case we couldn't. I'm a bit very non-technical, and that's what I have. That's what I have her for. She's there for all my computer bits and pieces, and she informs me that she can do that. Now, when I ink, I like to ink all my edges, and I'm just going to do this very roughly. You can see very roughly, and then show you very quickly where we're gluing, and it's not much. So, and there, that one might actually need a little bit of a divot off. So down the bottom, I like to do my inside, and I'll do both sides because both sides are going to be shown, and that won't be seen at all because it's in there. Now, it was that one, wasn't it? We might take a little sliver off that because you can see that it's already starting to curl, which all that really means is that it'll add thickness to your folds. So as you can see, we're not taking that much off. Right, let's glue this guy down. Like that. So just my normal wet glue. Start with one side. So with this side, we literally just need our bottom edge done. Just to close that pocket. So that's that one. This side, what we need is this bit and this bit. So down here. And from our fold line or our scored line along the bottom. On my cloth. And up there. So same thing on the other side. So with this one, it's just the bottom edge. Oops. All over the place, Kylie. Hold you in. Wipe you up before I get it all over my... And then this one, of course, was down here. And down there. Oh, I'm all over the show, aren't I? Right, give them a push. Now, while they're drying, what I tend to like to do, I'll just grab you back out, whoops, is with my paper clips. Saves me hanging on to it. And I can just stick that up there, which will just hold them in place while they're drying, while we go on to the next bit. So with our next section, we need to work out a side tuck. Tuck, yeah. So we'll glue down here, or let's go from this side, down here and along there. So straight down. And along. Close that. Pull that one out. And then pop that one back in, which just holds it all together so that I can go on to something else. And one bit up along here. And then I've created my tuck down there. That's all they are. And you can do these any size you like. As I said before, they're a great way of using your scraps. As I said, this one had, oh yeah, there it is, see? It had holes punched all in the top. So it's a great way of pulling out all those offcuts and all the rest. Let's say you want to get rid of a 12 by 12. So I've got a 12 by 12 sheet here. It's just plain. So I want that as my inside. And I want this as my outside. So I'm going to move that. We'll run through this one again really quickly. We'll grab this. So I need my center score line running down. So this is 12 inches, so it's nice and easy. So on the 6-inch mark, which will give me a 6-inch high tag tuck pocket, blur, you know. Right, so that one will be that. So what we want to do now is do, going that way, Let's do our side ones. As I said before with this one, it ended way too large. So I think my centerpiece, 5 inches. For me, that's just way too large. 4 inches gives me my 3 sizes. So if I come just under, so if I sit you here, 4 inches and 8 inches will give me my exact equal 3 pieces. So if I go 1/4 inch down, make sure that's straight. And if I go to the 8 inch mark and go over 1/4 inch as well, I don't think you can see that, sorry. So the 8 inch mark over to 1/4 inch and down. Sorry, it's rather large to have on the desk, but I've had to bring my camera in a bit more. Right, so this is going to go that way. These ones are this way. So now I've got, it's slightly smaller, but it's at the point now. I probably could have only gone 1/8 of an inch, couldn't I? 4.5 inches, well, of course, because I went 4 1/4 each side, duh. But that's more of a size that I would fit in a journal. Let's just have a look. Yep, whether it fits in my other one at the moment, which is my actual journal, let's have a look. Let's go to a page. I don't think it's going to. No, that's all right, it'll go in a different journal. I've got lots of them. Right, so we wanted to cut along this score line, which is our left to right centre score line. Might be easier on that side, we can see it a bit easier. Straight down so that I can see it even. Right, 1 and 2. All right, and again, we're going to fold these ones down to that score line. This seems to be a thicker cardstock, even though I think it's the same company. I think they were all Kaisercraft ones, but it is a thicker cardstock, so I will use my bone scorer just to flatten it as I go. And this side, try not to tear it as you go. And the last one. At that point, we'll fold it over and then have a look and see where they're folding in and curling, where they're too close to the edge. So, over, over, over. Actually, what have I got left in that? I'll go that way so my wording's not upside down, but I've still got a hint of bikes, etc. Actually, I like those colours. They've come up quite well. That's sitting fairly well. Give it a push, see where it's curling. They look pretty good. They look pretty good. It won't hurt to cut them a bit. So just a sliver off and then right to that corner again. Same with this side. Oh, sorry. See, I told you I had my camera down further so that I was closer in, but that might prove to be a problem, mightn't it? Especially when I'm working with big papers. So, sorry if I've just given you the, I don't know, what I've done to you there. I've done something. Made your eyes go funny anyway. Right, I'll move it over there to turn it around. How's that? All right, down. All right, So that'll go down. And remember, they don't need gluing because they're already being held in that way and that way. So this one will be just glued along here. Straight through there. Down. Oh, a bit too much glue there. Turn it over. All right. And this one goes down. Told you this was really thick cardstock. Okay. Down. Fold it over. See, and I'm not inking. Aren't you impressed with me? It's just amazing for me. That's just in case I can't get this inking thing done later on. So I'll just grab paper clips for those ones. One in there. And one there. That just holds them while I'm doing that bit. So this section along here. Straight along. And then this one. Hoping that I'm in shot. Alright. As I said before, nice and easy. We'll decorate one just to show how quick they are to decorate. And again, look, it might be that you're going to be able to use bits that you've already got sitting there on your desk. If your desk is anything like mine, there'll be, that's not down properly, there'll be lots sitting on your desk. All right. So, look, in all honesty, if I folded that way, I've then got a little book with tucks in there. I don't have my top tuck, but I could stick it onto a page so that it has that top tuck. Well, there's one for another day. I wonder what could go in that. Just bear with me. I've got... And I know this is not the right colour. It's just a tag that I've pulled out. Oh, I do have those paper clips sitting down there. But that would work. Or I could have a journal. All right. We've seen how these ones turn out. So we've seen how all this turns out, how quick and easy they are, and all the rest. Let's just change it up a little. So I won't do my centre tuck. Just excuse me a moment. I just need a very quick mouthful of my coffee. That's better. I'm going to do that. So I've used blue here and I've used that. I don't know whether I have much in those just sitting on my desk, but I do have some craft that I could trim. Oh, it's not straight. It must be that edge that's not straight. Let's just have a quick look. Sit you there, sit you there, sit you there. Oh, well and truly that edge. So, just trim you straight to start with, like that. All right, let's go this way. So I need these guys. If I put a tab on one, let's pull out the tab jar. What have I got in burgundies in here? Anything? I don't think so. I could use wood, couldn't I? I like those little wood ones. I could use wood. It's going to have to go way down there, isn't it? Let's have a look. So that tab to sit in there, which gives you something to actually get your hand onto. And it would need to be, because I don't measure, let's go about that. So it doesn't foul with where I've got my glue. Oh, didn't think of that. See, and that one I would probably use even more so. So let's find... Yeah, that's fairly straight. What is that? It's 5 1/4 is the measurement for this one. So let's do 5 1/4 for 2 of them. Right. My little piece will go back into my pile over there. Do I have 2 wooden ones? There's another one. Right. So I've got 2 little wooden tabs. I've got 2 very plain little journal cards that can go that way. All right. See, and if I'd thought about this earlier, I could. That's glued. I have another little side pocket. Let's just go with these ones first, okay? What way do I want round? They're 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, aren't they, really, on that side? So that's fine. All right. If I hear you about there. All right, let's have a look. I'm just going to use that ground espresso because it's the only thing that's really working. And I know I was having trouble with my walnut stain a couple of months ago and then found I had a couple more sitting in a cupboard, but they were just as old, if not older. So I'm going to have to give in and actually get some more. And I don't usually use the minis. I have a few in the minis, but I find the minis are just a little bit too small for me because I'm forever inking. It's just everything I do is normally inked, so I find I need the large ones. If I just go really quickly around those. But again, remember, inking is your choice. Fold you over. It's up to you whether you ink or not. So, and on the other side. Oh, I like those wood ones. Now they were just a wood paper. I don't even know if I've got any more of it sitting here. Probably not. Oh, yeah, I got another strip of it. That was just, it was this. Cut into those tabs is quite lovely. Like that. Right, so I'm going to sit you up that side. Now my tab, if I sit there in the middle, do I want you on first or do I want you on last? I want something like the blues, but I don't have any other blues sitting here because this was not something that I was thinking of straight away, of course. So let's have a look. I'll just go some book paper and just go fairly, yeah, I don't want it too old. That lot will work. That book, do I have more of you in there? I don't want it too old because I don't want to take it too dark. No. All right. Oh, that's another one of that book. Yes. All right. Just do that up. Slide that back over there. Right. And you can see it was somebody's workbook, so it should fit wording wise. Yep. If I just tear straight down so that I'm actually on that word. do that one. Oh, that's not very good tearing, Kylie. Nice and straight. Awesome. And I want to go round about there. And back up with that one. Let's see what we've got in that. Oh. All right. I'm thinking, so my mind's already thinking of how I'm going to do this. I'm thinking because it's the blues and the burgundies, I'm thinking, for me, nature and birds and stuff like that. So, if my journal cards have a little bit of nature or floral on them, so there's one tab, and we'll do another. We now know that that book page where the writing is fits that journal tab quite well, so I'll just go and follow that up and straight down. Sorry, I might have been off camera then. I was sitting side to... It's so cold here today. It's blowing a gale. It's not raining yet. They say it's going to rain, but it's not going to rain yet because I want to get my washing dry. So, yep, that one fits as well. But it is blowing an absolute gale. I don't know if you can hear it or not around me talking and our heater going flat out, but it's coming the same direction as the front of our house, this wind. And it's blowing around our front door and finding every gap in our front door, and it sounds like a freight train coming in. It is horrendous. All right, so I'll find my glue bit. Move those scissors because I don't really need those scissors there anymore, do I? Set that one over. Get my glue stick. Just straight onto the other side of that one. Oh, all right. Down onto that. Somewhere it's centered, which probably means I've got more than enough room for that tag without it having to go under the book page. So same with this one. Turn that round so I'm not on all that gluey area. All right. So my book papers that I keep are they're there for this, but the ones I keep right beside me, I have boxes of book pages, but I have a bag, a display wallet, whatever you want to call it, beside me, which will have different size fonts, different size fonts and different coloured papers, so that I can then get them wherever I need to for whatever it is that I'm working on. There'll be all sorts of different books in there, ranging from old catalogues, like Sears catalogues, dictionary pages, stamp catalogues, shorthand writing, bookkeeping writing, normal books, but I'll have some that are, you know, almost this colour that are really old, some that are white, some that are in between, just so that I can get the right colour and the right size font. I've got real tiny little dictionaries to give me real tiny little font, and they're just kept beside me so that I can just grab and go as I'm going. So what I want with those, and I reckon that tab, yeah, a little bit, right, I can put those tabs on now because, what did we say these were? Bit over 4 inches. Did I actually check them? Yeah, probably should have trimmed them down a little bit first, shouldn't I? Okay, no, that'll be fine because I didn't actually measure that bit. So they're around about 4.5, bit over 4 inches. So here is my centre point. just so I know where I'm going with my tab. Hang on to that bit. And this is why I like using my grid all the time. Down. Oh, the wind's just stopped. And now I can hear a plane. Right. So if I go there, I know that that's my centre point. This line here. So if I line that up so that it's even with that, I want a little bit of that sticking out, like so. And that way I have a tab that's straight, because I'm not known for my straightness. And it means that when I go to do the other one, now I've gone that way with that one, so I need to go that way with that one. That's just an OCD thing. Don't worry about that. That's just me. So this one I'll do the same. So here's my centre line, so that they will match when they're in my book. Right. Go down. And down. Pop this one in. I like the timber on that side. Sitting that down. Trying to keep it straight. Lift that up. That's my centre point. Lining that up. So I actually get to line this tab up between my 1/4 inch markings on this one as well. And that should mean, fingers crossed, that these guys are now close. Close but no cigar, as they say. All right, so you're going to go that way, you're going to go that way. All right, quick coffee again. Sorry. What I want on there now is plain book page. You know when you're opening a book and you've usually got those first couple of pages and the last pages that are blank or may only have one lot of this, you know, this sort of thing. I love this. So I have a few of those sitting here as well. So that's what is in this one. And we have, you know, different coloured ones from different books. Oh, I think they're awesome. I love them. They just, they still give me that book page feel. They're quite often crinkly and they have the most wonderful colours. So I'm going to go a little bit darker and I'm going to go this one. Now if I get my florals out, let's have a look at some florals in here on the front of my journal page. And what I'm going to do is another torn section in here, but with some florals on it. Now these top ones are a Tim Holtz one, but they've got a slight gloss and they're a little bit shiny, a little bit glossy and a little bit thicker than his Field Note ones. Let's have a look. I've got some Field Note ones in here. Right. These are the ones from Field Notes. These ones I have no idea what they were actually called. Was it Botanical? Something like that. They're an older one. But you can see the difference. This is what I like. This flat, matte type. So I find I have to just distress these up a little bit. So I'll use one of these so I can show you what it is that I do with these ones. So just, let's have a look. We could go bright, not with that blue and that burgundy. Let's see if we've got, what's in here that's burgundy type coloured. No, it's too big for what I want. I know what I want. You know when you know what you want, but you just can't find it? We're not going to find burgundy. Oh, there's a little one. And it's got a bit of blue in it too, doesn't it? Look, mirror imaged. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. Sit them out and I'll show you what I mean. So for me, as I said before, they're a little bit shiny, etc. So what I tend to do, and you'll also find if you're using Distress inks, it doesn't overly like the shiny finish on this. It won't dry as quickly. So I get a sanding block and I will distress them. But what I'm mainly doing is on the edge. So that gives somewhere for my distress ink to edge around these and still dry, I suppose would be the right word. So I'm just mainly going in there on the edges, just taking a little bit of the sheen off, and then because they are shiny, I will go in and I will rough them down a little bit, but give them an old, worn look. That is just me. I like the older look, and I found these were just a bit too much for me. It doesn't mean I don't like them, and I'll still use them, but now, here we go. Oh, there we go. So that was the start, and that was the finish. So that's what I tend to do to them. There's still a little bit of a sheen to them, so if I hold them like that, you can see. But it's taken it down. And so what it'll allow me to do now is just edge, just lightly, around the side, because I've roughed up the paper, the cardstock or whatever they're made out of, around the edge, which will then, for me, I'm so glad these are in mirror image, because then I can show you exactly the difference. And we'll just do one at a time. Right, so that's going to sit in there. So what I'll see, I'll pull this one back over, and you can see the difference in them. Okay, so if I lift that up, can you see the difference in them now? So what I've done is I've aged this one. This still looks lovely, and it still has its place, but for me and my journals, I like the aged look. So that's all I've done with that one, and very quick and easy. So once again, just with your sanding block, sandpaper, just normal sandpaper if you want. These are just ones that are at the hardware store that are sandpaper in a foam block. So I don't know if you can get them everywhere throughout the world. They're just in our hardware stores over here in Australia, but they just work a treat. And you can see mine get very stained. I think the red from that was from a journal that I was doing that had a red cover. The book, the initial book, had a red cover, and I didn't want a red cover. I wanted a black cover. So I sanded my red cover just to give it a rough texture so that paint would go onto it, and then I painted it black. So, but the red stayed on that. So just again, I'm just going around just to edge it up. I can see if I've missed any bits. Go back around those bits. Right. That's what my jeans are for. So I'll now wipe that, get the dust off that. Very quickly just go around there. And then I've distressed or aged. I should just say aged, shouldn't I? I have aged both pieces. So they look more like, for me, especially these ones, they look like something that would have been on a postcard or something like that, in that aged look. So now I've got two that are really aged. So all I'm going to do with these, and I want a piece, not necessarily that fits all of it. Oh, and I love how book paper tears. Isn't it just beautiful? And I really like this bit actually, so I might just leave that bit on there. That sounds lovely. All right. So I want this sort of thing. So quickly round that. And I love where that's all been torn out of the book. All right. So to hurry things along a little bit, you know we're going to do a mirror image on that side. So I'll just sit him aside so that we don't actually have to go through and do it. I will glue this one. Got a bit of a mess here now. Right. Glue this one. And I'm gluing that side up. Straight down. Make sure you get your edges. Right. Cloth. This one and because they're chipboard more than the normal weight ones that he does with field notes and things like that, they're not paper, but they're a thicker paper, whereas these I would class as a cardstock. So I'll use my liquid glue for those ones. So just around. Oh, sun's come back out. Woohoo! Means it's not going to rain for a little while yet. Oh, my hands are filthy now. Right. I want him over both. Now, I would also like a word or something in there. What have I got? Words. Let's have a look. It'd be nice if I've got a word already in here, because I didn't bring over any stamps and they're sitting over there, because this wasn't where I was going with this, as per normal. So, what about timeless? It needs something else on it though, because they are so small. I don't want to explore, but that would have been elegance. Charming, I doubt it. Graceful, I'm not. Moments, again, treasured. Limited edition, of course, always works, because that'll just work on everything. Some of these are just ones that I've cut from paper. Some are ones where I've had a day of scraps sitting in front of me and stamps, and I've stamped a whole heap of words. We're not looking very... And in the long run, let's just tip them out. Friendship, no. Adore, no. Explore. Documented. Thinking limited edition. Oh, I've got that limited edition. And I could back that again, couldn't I? I like it in the black, I think. See, this is just a stamped piece that I've done in different coloured browns and blacks. All right, let's go that, and let's see what else we could do with it. 1, 2, 3, limited edition. All right. Now, hang on. There's nothing like rifling through a little container, I find. I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it. And I know there's a better way to store all my words, but I love rifling through them. All right. Some of those are digitals that I've had printed out. Right, so we've decided, I'm going to put that way over there before I chuck it away and tip it. I'm down to 4. Let's get rid of that one. Down to 3. So limited edition sits nice up there in the black. That one would probably need to be edged in black. Let's just, I don't have my black Distress ink and blender out for that, because I have a blending tool for my colours that I use all the time. So I'm just going to take my ink pad straight to my paper. Don't run your paper that way, it'll cut your ink pad. You know, paper will cut your finger, so it'll cut your ink pad. So go down if you're going to do it this way. And depending on how far over you tip your ink pad will depend how much ink you get on your paper. All right, Now, this is a permanent ink, not one I normally ink my edges with, so now I've got permanent black fingernail polish. But that's all right. I love messy hands, inky hands, because I always know I've had fun. I quite like elegance on there as well, actually. But I do brown, but we might just go brush the corduroy with that one. No, sorry. This is just a stamp. It's an old wooden block stamp that I've had forever. I'm just going to really rough it up so it's got a tint of blue because it is a different blue. Yeah, see, and that goes back to my, it reminds me of an old postcard, that floral, so we'll go that way. All right, put that one away. Put that one away. I'll adhere that one down very quickly. It would look nice with some twine behind it or other bits and pieces, but we'll just go quick because I want to do the front. Right. Right. Find my cloth. Pull those ones up. See, I like that. I do like that. So we'd have the other one on the other side, which we know will be that one, but mirror imaged. It won't have elegance. I might do my limited edition on the other side. So this is now my front. So this is going to stick out a little bit now because I've turned it into more a book. I could put some actual pages in there, put a signature in there and sew it. Well, I tell you, that's got to be time for coffee, which is getting very cold now. That's all right. So my front cover, I said I wanted birds of some sort. I could see birds on it. Now, whether I don't know what I've got left cut out in birds that are going to do this. I've got to get these birds out. I've been using too many birds lately, and this is getting rather thin on the ground. So, So maybe I could turn it into a postcard. Or I could go brighter. Nope. Put all those back. I'm going to go that one, which is a swallow, is it? I'm not a bird watcher. I just know what I like. Right. So let's see how we're going to do. Do I go down there? I'd like postcard. So let's have a look at one of these backgrounds, if I can. Vintage. Tend to use it a lot, but if I did that, my bird needs to be on the other side because I don't want to cover that one up. So, gather the rose of love whilst there is still time. All right, so we will stamp that in that book paper again that I said. Just small, that will fit there and I can tear around it. That's not a problem. Move that back in. Put a few lids on some things at the moment before everything goes dry and I can't do anything else. Right, so I need stamping mat. Could we go a burgundy to show the burgundy in there? What do you reckon? I have Raisin, which is a Ranger one. It's one of their old Adirondacks. So let's have a look. That would still look quite nice, wouldn't it? Let's go raisin. All right. See, I still have a lot of old wood mount stamps because, well, I've been stamping for so long. And I still quite like them. They are a pain to store, as we all know, but I can't get rid of them. I cannot get rid of them. I just love them too much. I did start to take them off the wood blocks so that I could have them where I could put them on my acrylic blocks. That didn't last long. I just like the feel of the wood mount in there. So if I go about there where I can tear around that, that still gives me room to tear, doesn't it? So hanging on to it, both hands, going over. All right, let's have a look. Oh yeah, oh yeah, like that I do. All right, put back in there. And I'm going to tear this a little bit larger to start with. And then I can always tear it down. I can't put it back on, but I can tear it down. Oh, this is where I need fingernails because I'm still fairly close to that edge, aren't I? Sorry, you're just now looking at my very filthy fingernails. They were clean this morning. They were. But I've been playing. And it also hadn't quite dried. But that's all right. I like that. All right. Oh, I've got fingerprints all over that now. So I'm so used to my archival inks because they dry really quickly straight away that this one, it is a dye ink, I think. I'm sure my raisin's a dye ink. Yeah, it's a dye ink, which means that they're quick drying, but not quite as quick as my archivals. But, you know, you can see it round there, but in all honesty, I don't mind that. It just grunges it up a little bit further. So if I was really concerned about it, I could do another one. But what I'm going to do is just make this look really dark on the edges, and see where I've still got some wording. I'm going to take it in there to get it really dark around that wording. Right. So that's going to go up there like that. You need to sit so that you can still see the time. And I need something underneath my birdie. Let's have a little bit of lace. When in doubt, always pull out the lace, is all I can say. That might look nice. And this is where you don't want your fingers too dirty. Thinking that one, or do I want lace instead of the broderie on glass? Let's have a look. I might actually go to lace. Big scissors. Down. That's going to be there. That's going to be there. So I want that lace to go in about there, don't I? So let's get this going. And then we'll finish off because I think I've beaten my hour well and truly. Sorry. Okay. That's because I took a whole other tangent from where I was going. That'll pay. That'll teach me, won't it? This is getting low and it's cold today. So I've got a new one up there. I should just grab that, shouldn't I? Just excuse me for a moment. So I do have a new one. Let's see, I'll give this 5 seconds if I can't get it to go. Yep. All right, into the new one. Which knee? Oh, it's one of those ones. Yep. Okay. Let's see how we go. All right, so I'm going about there. Oh, look, it just comes straight out. There you go. So all that fiddling around, and it just comes straight out. Round about there, wasn't it? We'll use this one. Make sure there's no real wet patches on there. Turn that over, go back to the glue stick. All right. Move that over there. Putting you there, like so. And a little birdie. Just get rid of the white on the edge of my birdie, so he blends in a little bit, because this was an actual die cut piece out of something, I don't know what, and I don't know how long I've had him. He feels a bit like Tim Holtz, but don't quote me on that, he could be anything. All right, just to get rid of that white core around him, and in there. All right. So my birdie, I'm going back with this glue. Oh, so inky. All right, and then we'll finish off and down. So, done like that. Just here. Yes, that works. Speak now, forever hold your peace. There we go. All right, so my little ones, which was this with the tab, which was this, which was this, which was this with the tab, became that. So that can be decorated all up and all the rest, but I'm rather pleased with that. And I like that so much better than that. But that just might be that it's not my colours and I was just playing with the 12 by 12 in it. I've got to admit, they were my colours. And that I like. I like that. But I'm really happy with that. So I hope you've all had fun today. I hope you've learnt something today. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to subscribe to me. Hit like if you've liked this video. Don't forget the little notification bell. And until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Thank you. Bye.